Imagine this. Tonight, millions of people around the world step outside and look at the sky. At first, everything seems normal. The stars are where they should be. The moon hangs quietly above the horizon. But then someone notices something strange. A bright object that wasn't there yesterday. Not a star, not a planet. Something new. Something moving. Within hours, astronomers across the globe point their telescopes toward it. Within days, every major observatory is studying it. Within weeks, the world receives an announcement that changes humanity forever. A massive rogue planet has entered our solar system, and nobody knows exactly what will happen next. The universe is filled with mysteries. Black holes, dark matter, exploding stars. But among the strangest objects ever discovered are rogue planets. These are planets that travel through space completely alone. Unlike Earth, Mars, or Jupiter, they do not orbit a star. They wander through the darkness of interstellar space like cosmic ghosts. Scientists believe there may be billions of rogue planets drifting through the Milky Way. Some were violently ejected from their home systems billions of years ago. Others may have formed in complete isolation. Most are invisible, cold, silent, lost in the darkness. But what if one of them suddenly arrived here? What if our solar system was no longer alone? At first, the discovery would not seem frightening. News channels would call it the greatest astronomical event in human history. Scientists would celebrate. Telescopes would track its movement every second. Social media would explode with theories. Some people would be excited. Others would be terrified. But as new data arrived, excitement would slowly turn into concern. Because this would not be a small planet. Imagine a world several times larger than Jupiter. A giant drifting through space for billions of years. A planet carrying enough gravity to reshape entire solar systems. And it is heading directly toward ours. The first effects would appear far beyond Earth, beyond Neptune, beyond Pluto, in a region filled with icy bodies and frozen debris. The rogue planet's gravity would begin pulling on these distant objects. At first, the changes would be tiny, almost impossible to notice. Then suddenly, thousands of comets would begin changing course. Astronomers would see them everywhere. Objects that had remained undisturbed for millions of years would start moving toward the inner solar system. The sky would slowly become more dangerous. New comets would appear every week. Some would become visible to the naked eye. Others would race toward the sun at incredible speeds. Scientists would realize that the solar system is no longer stable. A giant gravitational intruder has arrived. And this is only the beginning. As the rogue planet moves closer, its influence grows stronger. The planets themselves begin to feel it. Mercury's orbit changes slightly. Venus experiences tiny disturbances. Even Earth starts responding to the invisible pull. Most people would not notice anything immediately. Life would continue. Schools would remain open. Cities would remain busy. But behind the scenes, scientists would be working around the clock. Supercomputers would run millions of simulations. Governments would demand answers. The question everyone wants answered is simple. Will it hit us? The answer is both comforting and terrifying. Probably not. But it doesn't have to. Direct collision is not necessary for disaster. Gravity alone can change everything. Imagine Earth's orbit moving just a little closer to the sun. Temperatures begin rising worldwide. Heat waves become more common. Droughts spread across continents. Food production declines. Now imagine the opposite. Earth moves slightly farther away. Global temperatures fall. Growing seasons become shorter. Snow begins appearing in regions that rarely see winter. Entire ecosystems struggle to adapt. The difference between stability and catastrophe could be surprisingly small, and humanity would have no control over it. As months pass, the rogue planet becomes visible, even without telescopes. Every night it appears larger, brighter, more unsettling. For the first time in human history, people can actually watch a planetary-scale threat approaching Earth. Children grow up seeing it in the sky. Religious groups interpret it as a sign. Conspiracy theories spread everywhere. Financial markets become unstable. Governments prepare emergency plans. Human civilization enters a state of uncertainty unlike anything before. Then comes the moment scientists fear most. The rogue planet reaches its closest approach. Now its gravity is strong enough to create measurable effects throughout the solar system. Asteroids shift course. Comets flood toward the sun. Planetary orbits begin changing. Nobody knows exactly what happens next because a system this complex becomes chaotic. Tiny differences can produce enormous consequences. One simulation shows Earth surviving. Another shows climate collapse. Another shows something even worse: Earth being completely ejected from the solar system. This sounds impossible, but it can happen. Gravity is powerful. A close encounter with a massive rogue planet could throw Earth into a new orbit, or remove it from the sun's gravitational grip entirely. Imagine watching the sun become smaller every year. At first, nothing dramatic happens, but over time, the consequences become devastating. Temperatures fall steadily. Oceans begin freezing from the surface downward. Plants die. Food chains collapse. Most life disappears. Earth transforms into a frozen, wandering world, a rogue planet of its own, drifting endlessly through the darkness between the stars. The night sky would become unbelievably beautiful and unbelievably tragic. Without sunlight, the stars would shine brighter than ever before. The Milky Way would stretch across the sky in extraordinary detail, but there would be nobody left to admire it. Fortunately, there is another possibility. The rogue planet passes through the solar system and continues its journey. Earth survives. The planets remain mostly intact. Humanity watches as the giant world slowly disappears into deep space once again. Even then, everything would change. Scientists would spend centuries studying the event. New technologies would emerge. Entire generations would grow up knowing that our solar system is not isolated, that enormous unseen worlds travel through the galaxy, and that one of them once visited us. The universe often feels calm, predictable, stable. The sun rises every morning. The planets follow their familiar paths. The night sky changes slowly. But beneath that calm surface lies a reality far stranger than most people imagine. Stars explode. Galaxies collide. Black holes consume entire systems. And somewhere in the darkness beyond our telescopes, countless rogue planets wander alone. Invisible travelers moving through an endless cosmic ocean. Right now, at this very moment, one could be crossing the space between the stars, silent, cold, undetected, a world with no sun, no seasons, no home. And although the chances of it reaching our solar system are incredibly small, the possibility is not zero. Because the universe does not care about what is likely. It only cares about what is possible. And somewhere out there, beyond the edge of our knowledge, a rogue planet continues its journey through the darkness, waiting to be discovered, waiting to remind humanity how small we truly are, and how strange the universe can be. But perhaps the most fascinating question is not whether a rogue planet could destroy Earth. It's what we could learn from it. For the first time in human history, Scientists would have the opportunity to study a world that spent billions of years wandering through interstellar space completely alone. Every major observatory on Earth would focus on it. Powerful telescopes would analyze its atmosphere, temperature, and composition. Researchers would search for clues about where it came from and what happened to the star system that once called it home. And the answers might be surprising. Many scientists believe that some rogue planets may contain enough internal heat to maintain liquid water beneath their frozen surfaces. Imagine a hidden ocean trapped under kilometers of ice, drifting endlessly through the darkness between the stars. If such an ocean existed, it would raise one of the biggest questions in science. Could life survive there? On Earth, life has been found in some of the most extreme environments imaginable. Deep beneath the ocean floor, inside volcanic regions, and under thick layers of ice. These discoveries have shown that life can adapt to conditions once thought impossible. If the same is true elsewhere, a rogue planet could potentially host simple forms of life far away from any star. Even the smallest evidence would completely transform our understanding of the universe. But even if no life were found, the rogue planet would still teach us something important. It would remind us that our solar system is not isolated. We live in a galaxy filled with moving stars, wandering planets, and forces operating on scales that are difficult to comprehend. The night sky often appears calm and unchanging. Yet beyond what we can see, countless objects are traveling through space at incredible speeds. Some are stars, some are comets, and some are lonely planets drifting through the darkness. Fortunately, the chances of a rogue planet entering the inner solar system are extremely small, but they are not zero. And that's what makes the universe so fascinating.